We talked earlier this week about women-only carriages in trains, or was it last week? I can't remember. But it turns out airlines are now taking this on board as well.
Yes, well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I thought when I read this article this morning. So this is Indigo. It's India's largest airline, and it is allowing female passengers, when they are choosing their seat, to pick a seat away from male passengers. So when it comes up, it'll indicate with like blue icons and pink icons the gender of the passengers on the flight, and they can pick a seat further away, which may sound very good to some people. It may sound hideous to others. They haven't said why they're doing this, although there does seem to have been a couple of incidences in the last couple of years, actually in the last year.
I think always.
Yeah, always of sexual assaults and things happening on flights.
On their flights they've reported about. So I don't know, Marvyn, do you feel discriminated against?
I actually don't. I think when women speak about the experiences they have and some of the answers that they want, unless men are going to stop sexually assaulting women on trains and planes, then I think listening to an alternative approach, which is like they call them pink seats, is actually really a good idea. And if you go on a thread of where the actual news story came on and women telling their testimony of all the things that have happened, it's frightening. And obviously, as a man, I have no idea. And like, you know, the only downside to it is just more huge men sitting together and less space for my knees. But I think I can take it.
I mean, certainly if you're flying coach, if you're flying economy class, Angela, it can be uncomfortably close sometimes. And I feel for women that maybe sitting next to me and, you know, you can't get out. You can be there for hours at a time.
Yeah, definitely. But I think what concerns me a little bit about this story is the default position is that women are demonised by men on flights. Now, I think this is quite different from the story the other week about the number of incidences of attacks on our rail networks. You know, people can be in carriages by themselves. It can be late at night when there's not many people. You're an interdependent community on a plane. By definition, you're all in the cabin together. There's a lot of supervision. There are air hostesses walking up and down. You know, the automated rail network means you never see anybody from buying a ticket to getting on and getting off.
Yeah, but in the actual article, they talk about air hostesses that have also been attacked. I think someone got arrested for doing that to them also.
Inappropriately touched. A drunk man also urinated on a passenger, harassing. There was another man that was harassing, inappropriately touching a 22-year-old flight attendant.
What do you do with that level of like instances? You can't just be like, let's continue. You need something.
I think this is something a bit different.
Yeah, I do wonder. I mean, it's fine if women want the choice to be able to sit away from men. I understand that, but the idea that men and women cannot also just chat and get on together.
Yeah, that's what troubles me.
I think that's the bit that's missing a little bit, because the art of conversation, you shouldn't be scared of chatting.
No, but I think it's the entitlement of where people don't understand the boundary of like, please don't talk to me, or I don't want to talk to you, and they find that a confrontation. And clearly there are instances where that's gone way too far. And also, we always say one example is too many, but it's actually happening quite a lot. Yeah. And unless we're going to have another approach, an alternative strategy of how do we keep women safe on flights and trains, it's like it becomes quite a big deal.